800 TJ is hands down the biggest crash out that we have covered on this channel. From dropping his location and provoking his ops, to being tied to a funeral shooting that resulted in the infamous Wooski being shot in the head. 800 TJ has made it his mission to become the top op in Chicago. After losing some of his closest friends to an endless gang war, 800 TJ would continue to rain havoc on the streets of Chicago in the name of his fallen members.
The street is riddled with shell casings from gunfire. In all, police say 6 people were taken to several hospitals.
He on some other shit that he ain't never coming home for. Just know that.
Happy holiday, your homie finna die.
Pull up.
No, y'all got that deep as hell. Damn.
Okay.
Pull up. I'm out here staking them shit. You not even in front of your building. Your building right here.
Go on stage.
Your building right here.
Go on stage, man.
Can I get out with you today?
Yeah.
You know, Lil Wild. Where you at?
Where you at?
Off in the car right now.
It is dangerous. My niggas be scared to play ball.
Who killed who? Like how federal, man. Like
the woman and a man were shot in the head yesterday. The man is still in the hospital in critical condition. 2 children who were also in the car at the time of the shooting were not hurt.
TJ was born and raised in Chicago, more specifically off 93rd and Cottage. After eventually moving to 61st and Cottage, it was around 13 years old, TJ claimed that he had jumped off the porch, and even catching his first case at this age for a stolen vehicle, being raised with 1 sister and 1 brother, who we now know as 800 Semi. TJ claims that his father was in and out of prison his whole life, leaving his mother to take care of the children alone. TJ would then start to attend Chatham High School, and this is where he would start to get sucked into the street life. TJ would continue to be known as the snake in the neighborhood, who is known to backdoor anyone who gets too close. In order to understand the life of TJ, you must know about the gang 800, aka the Snakes, who would really earn this name by the shady way they move around. 800 is made up of Chicago's Mickey Cobras and would really get their reputation in 2018 after their op Wooski was killed, and 800 would spin the block during Wooski's funeral. During this shooting, famously known Wooski would be shot in the head, along with 5 others. However, surprisingly, no one would be killed during this shooting.
From 91st to near 93rd Street along South Cottage Grove in the Burnside neighborhood. The street is riddled with shell casings from gunfire. In all, police say 6 people were taken to several hospitals. The most severely injured is a man who was shot in the head. He was listed in critical condition at the University of Chicago Medical Center.
Later, Chicago's Big Mike would indirectly confirm that 800 was involved in the shooting that hit Wooski.
So you saying it was some niggas from 800 who did that to Wooski?
Man, everybody know who did that to my brother. The whole streets know. The nigga who did that to him is Bucks.
He got charged for it?
No, he on some other shit that he ain't never coming home for. Just know that.
Right.
TJ would only be about 16 years old at this time and would fall in love with the street life. TJ's antics would really start to gain notoriety around age 18 when TJ and 2 others, Lil Fats and Boss Smooth, would set up a gun trade with known MTG 039 member Curio. When they met up, things would go left and would end in Curio tragically losing his life. Later, TJ would be seen on social media flexing the gun that he took that day, and this would set the tone for TJ and his crash out reputation. Not long after this incident, TJ and his brother Semi would be seen on IG Live lurking around the ops neighborhood looking for trouble.
Y'all got Christmas decorations up and shit. Happy holiday, your homie finna die.
This sort of behavior would become regular for these 2, especially after they would eventually set up another op during a gun exchange, when 800 members would set up and backdoor Face World member Bando Hothead, aka Hottie. Things would then continue to get worse after TJ would lose 2 of his closest friends only months after this incident, when 800 Boss Smooth and 800 Franco would both be killed within days of each other. This would clearly have a huge impact on TJ, and if you thought he was a crash out before, things were about to get way worse. To wrap up 2020, TJ would slide through the ops hood and post to IG, just flip through Western and Talman and whatever else. Nobody ever out at this time of night. Clearly, TJ was on a dark path, and things would not seem to get any better after TJ and his brother, Semi, would both get picked up and arrested on gun charges. To say that TJ had a rough time in jail would be an understatement, after there would be footage leaked of TJ getting in multiple altercations, including even getting jumped by 2 members of his former gang. Then, not too long after their arrest, 800 members Fats and Twan would be arrested and convicted for the murder of a Face World member. TJ would serve about 6 months after he would be released in May 2022, and of course would take to IG to post a picture with 2 guns. The following month, TJ would be seen on live with the ops seemingly self-snitching after admitting to 800 killing Hottie and 069 Kill Smooth.
He just wanna talk.
Alright, let's see. I get my jump shot for merchant on Hottie because we don't merch on Hottie, but on Banso, that's Bino work, nigga. On my son, nigga.
Nah, bro. You steady saying that we know the specific person who did it.
TJ would continue this pattern of dissing his ops and then dropping his location, only provoking his ops to come after TJ, starting beef with damn near everyone in Chicago, but more specifically, Wooski and Bando KD. We would even see TJ on live with Bando KD, and towards the end, TJ would drop his location for a shootout.
Pull up. No, y'all
at the deep as hell, damn.
Okay. Pull up.
Why you don't be on your own block?
I'm on your block. What y'all got on y'all?
I ain't got shit. Oh, man.
What y'all got on y'all? Who's this?
Yeah, man.
Y'all not on shit. Yeah. Pop out. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all just trying to woof. Walk to the corner, okay.
Tell me what block you on.
I'm finna show you what block.
TJ would be declaring himself the top op of Chicago by a landslide, to the point where he knew that he had to capitalize on it. It was at this moment that TJ decided to drop his infamous track titled Fuck the Ops, which sits at about 90K views to date, and would have fans making breakdown videos of all the ops that TJ would diss in this song.
We spent the round call 2 in they stretch. Shoot up the funeral, Woods got tapped. DJ was low feet, neither. Nap high head, don't need no switches. Took pulling up Terry while I sit in the back. We run the hose like it was a lap. Chanel on my feet, it cost it a rag. Dior on my shirt, just check the tag. Boy, you broke that shit ridiculous. Kurt got clapped, it's been a little minute. If I fuck this B on with it, remember? Say you got shooters, my niggas killers. Open them up, we paint a pitch. Open his neck, it was to a fish. For the shell, put in his sleeve was dizzy. Piss on his grave just so he could feel it. Been had 10K before the pin, then Benz died of me. I forgot to mention. Celebrate him like it was a Christmas.
Shortly after, TJ would be hunting down his ops on Eberhart, looking for Lil Tay. It would seem at this point that TJ would take a break from beefing with Bando KD and focus his beef on Lil Tay. However, TJ's tough guy persona would start to deteriorate after his former gang would come out, and Jado would say that TJ was getting jumped in jail for switching to 800, and that when he was a part of Burnside, TJ was nothing more than a store runner. But of course, TJ would be back on his bullshit once again, on live, dropping his location with, you guessed it, Bando KD. But this time, he would have 757BA, I think that's how you pronounce it, on live also.
State Street, go on state, man. 12 out here, listen. Man, go on state, man. I'm out here staking them shit. You not even in front of your building. Your building right here.
On state. Go on
your
state.
Building right here.
Go on state, man.
His ops would also call TJ out, saying that he never actually knew his OG homies that died back in 2020, like 800 Big Smooth, and that Franco was the only 800 member that TJ knew back then.
You don't know neither one of us, bro. You don't know Smooth, you don't know nobody. What you talking about? So what the fuck is you talking about? Only motherfucker you know is Frank.
It would seem that TJ hadn't even lived in the neighborhood that he would go live in, and in this clip he would explain why.
Everybody, all you little TW goofies that wanna, I'm on your block and Rudderop on Calvert Wester. We don't have no crib over there on Vert Head. There's cameras all through that bitch. It's a college over there, all type of shit going on. Y'all ass police on Vert Head. Like, who says shit like that? I'm not gonna come through that knowing what's going on over here, like on Verge.
Then shortly after, TJ would suspiciously fresh out of the hospital with a bandage on his neck, join another live with his ops from M Block. Daiwai, crazy name by the way, would flash his chopper saying, "I'm on the way."
They probably said that my shit whack. They gon' say it and I lack it. I say fuck the ops, they know it's that. Fuck the ops, they know it's that. They get the papers.
What the fuck going on with your neck, blood?
Shit.
Little stop.
You look a little skinny, blood. I ain't gonna lie to you, folks. Can I get out with you today?
Yeah.
You know, Lil Wild, where you at?
Where you at?
I'm finna hop in the car right now.
This sort of cat and mouse game would continue with Bando KD, M Block DIY, and Lil Tay. Unfortunately, Lil Tay would lose his life after being gunned down in 800 territory. TJ would take to IG posting, "I think the last dude is my favorite pack." Now, TJ would start to let loose after we would see him geeked up off the pills with some girl on live. All of this controversy would have made its way around Chicago at this point, to where local channels like Truth Teller TV would have TJ on for a formal interview, so we could get to know this crash out firsthand. In this interview, TJ opens up about how he knows what he does, like dropping his location on live is dangerous, but he continues to do it anyway. He also talks about what it was like having people trying to kill him while he was in jail.
I really just started, I just started rapping. I'm taking this shit serious this year, you know what I'm saying?
TJ, I be watching your lives. They always going viral, but it's something about that make me cringe when I look at your lives, TJ. You one of the guys who will show the location.
Look, they thirsty. They on the hunt.
You don't think that's dangerous?
It is dangerous. It's dangerous.
My niggas be scared to
My
play
niggas
ball.
know who to play with.
How is it when TJ walk in the county? I would think it's just loud screaming and roaring. Everybody know you is now.
Oh yeah, every time I come now, walk on deck. Hey, where you from? I'm from 800. Who they? Who that is? Who that is? Hey, what? That's TJ? Ooh, I don't know. Ooh. Oh my cousin, it's not going like that. Oh, scratching through the door, whoever, anybody first. I don't care about none of that. I get moved just like that. I ain't standing on no deck though, but it's a lot of niggas over there that's trying to jump me or kill me or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody over there, I just feel like I'm gonna take off on their ass. You know? Go ahead. I ain't just gonna walk off the deck like I'm just big, like I'm banking myself. No.
Right. You said banking yourself. What's that saying? You don't want to be there no more?
Yeah, like basically, like PC.
I know a lot of niggas
basically, like PC.
A lot of niggas
moving off the deck. Like, what you moving off the deck for?
So is that something you don't supposed to do then?
Hell no.
He would, in fact, make it to his 21st birthday and would take to IG for a good old-fashioned birthday post with a sinister caption reading, "Where they go, we killed they folks." In March 2023, we would catch TJ in the studio working on another diss song when he would suddenly be picked up by police yet again, this time on multiple charges, including resisting, drug possession, and firearms charges. He would eventually be sentenced to 8 years with 50%, but would only serve 8 months after getting his time reduced. TJ would be released in November 2023, hitting the streets, sliding on ops, and dropping his location like usual. But this time, he would be flexing 10K in cash and a new AP watch. TJ would be feeling himself big time after coming home from this last bid, after he would also be seen flashing his switches on live and then cutting off his ankle monitor. TJ's story would have made its way around town at this point, and he had earned an interview with On a Couch TV. In this interview, we see TJ intro himself with 2 handguns, saying, "Y'all can push peace all you want. When I see a op, I'm smoking their ass." He would also talk about what it was like during this last stint in jail.
Hey, look, from the pill out,
y'all go follow me
on IG, man.
Y'all go follow me on IG, baby.
Hey, y'all look.
Right, gang. You think that's cool, gang? You be on the internet telling
admitting to the time beef and Pepsi though, like
who killed who? Like federal, gang. Like.
So how y'all feel about the pushing peace movement and all that? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. They can push P all they want to.
But
I see an op on.
Hey, look, you been right, but niggas can push people. We snakes. You know, yeah, we know what we doing.
We bouncing around.
It wasn't long after this interview until Lil Twan, the one in prison for murder, would call out TJ, saying that he never put in work and doesn't own a gun. TJ would clap back, posting a picture of him with someone he allegedly had stolen a gun from, with the caption, "Those were some nice guns I took this day." Around this time, it seems that fellow Crash Out 6'5" Lil Mike would create an alliance with TJ, and together they would embark on a crash out journey together. TJ and Lil Mike would do everything together. We would even see them in the studio making a new smash hit. They would go on to drop Pressure, with the visual at about 100K views to date. This song would now put this duo on the map, and not necessarily in a good way. Shortly after, in February 2024, we would catch them together on the infamous couch of DJU. Now, this clout was really starting to get to TJ's head because his antics would not only become progressively worse, like this clip of TJ deciding to spend his 22nd birthday sliding on his ops, but he would start to diss bigger names like Scrooly G and Von Off 1700 in hopes to gain some clout. TJ would even go as far as posting a gun with the caption, "I'm trying to kill another rapper today." With all this momentum, TJ and Lil Mike would drop another track titled Takeoff, which sits at about 140K 4K views to date. Then, after the death of Lil Jeff and Lil Scoom, TJ would troll their deaths, which would really start to fan the flames. So much so that within days, 800 TJ would be gunned down. The story is that I guess TJ had taken a gun from someone named G Kane, and it would turn out that TJ claims that he took it straight from G Kane, while G Kane says that TJ took the gun when he was nowhere around. Either way, this would spark a beef between the two, and G Kane would then go on a manhunt while on IG Live claiming that TJ has 24 hours to live, and it would turn out that he would mean exactly that. Shortly after, the city would get word that TJ would be gunned down with his partner in crime, Lil Mike, right by his side. Lil Mike at that point would attempt to flee the scene, but would be apprehended by police. G Kane would go live after telling the audience, "I told you 24 hours," and even would go on to inherit the handle Mr. 24. Some were speculating that 6'5" Lil Mike had backdoored TJ. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Not long after TJ's death, in September 2024, 6'5" Lil Mike would be gunned down again. He would survive his wounds, however, he would be shot in the head and lose one of his eyes completely. If that wasn't bad enough, there were also kids in the car at the time of the shooting. And unfortunately, the woman that was in the vehicle did not survive.
In this update now, a woman has died after being shot in a car in Avalon Park. The woman and a man were shot in the head yesterday near 87th and Stony Island. The man is still in the hospital in critical condition. Two children who were also in the car at the time of the shooting were not hurt. Police believe the gunman ran away after the shooting.
Not long after, TJ's sister would start to post on his account, making backdoor claims, even tagging her alleged suspects, saying, "It's up with anybody about him." She would continue to crash out even worse by speaking in the first person as if TJ was posting, saying, "Damn, you still using my name for clout? I'm still that dude in the grave, and you know that." Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Now, this generation has definitely taken the streets to another level with gun violence and everything that has to do with their beef. 800 TJ is an example to the kids on exactly how not to move. Now, I can't say too much, considering we are all a product of our environments. However, I just hope that TJ's story will send a message to the youth on how street life will always lead to the same two outcomes. Thank you guys for watching. We just hit 9,000 subscribers. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.